you want to inhibit official people from doing their jobs, they still have to do their job. And that's laid out in the law. I'd be happy to go up there when we go out and do our field work again. I made it as a courtesy to let him know when I was going to be coming, which I don't do extend to anybody else because of the encounters that my staff had with the polys in April. In October, I made that courtesy to say, I will be coming tomorrow to give you, warning. It's not, I don't schedule, nobody schedules. We have no ability to do it, as I mentioned. The comparables, one is a converted mobile home, or two are a converted mobile home, one is a regular mobile home. Things are assessed in different ways. Stick-built, converted mobile home, regular mobile homes, under Nevada law, they're assessed in different manners. I don't make the law, we follow what the guidelines are. So I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. So I did what the law says for me to do on this property. Anything else than this?
No, I don't think so, other than.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the comparables, I don't even know how we're comparing. So I'm not sure how to address that. And they were given to me 40 hours before the hearing. That's all that I have.
Okay. Are there any questions for the assessor? And do we have anything in rebuttal?
Okay, so on the personal property, there are many pieces of equipment that are on the list that we don't even own. They've got us down for 3 dozers. We have 2. They've got down, I'm not exactly sure, it's kind of hard to interpret how they write down, whether it was the year that they went and seen the equipment or what. But on that, they've got new years. I can state right now that none of my equipment is newer than 2007. Everything's almost 20 years old.
Did you provide the assessor with the list?
Well, no, I didn't. We should have, but we did not.
Okay.
We're not here talking
So-
about the personal property right now. We're here basically.
You appealed
talking
the
about-
personal property.
I'm answering back to that. So some of the equipment wasn't ours. We have people that work under our license in different parts of the state. Smoky Valley, Nevada, Enterprise, Utah, we're licensed in Enterprise, and in Twin Falls, Idaho. Our yard is kind of a landing spot. As people are moving through, doing their jobs here and there. If it's Friday afternoon and they're dragging a piece of iron from Enterprise, Utah to Idaho, Twin Falls, I'm the one that gets stuck with it. Well, they drop it off and they go home. If they don't make it back for weeks, 2 weeks, months, that's where it sits, and it's fine with me to do so. So some of the equipment that would be taxed on is not even ours. So I also want to go back to the matters of Mr. Hilton not notifying the public. He is a public official. He is voted in by the public, and that means he is not above the public, but he is answering to the public. So with that being said, Mr. Hilton went to blow our property. Mind you, he had the 4-wheel drive to get to the bottom of the property to take a picture off the property onto the home. And he went around at a different profile through a gate that said no trespassing, that is still part of our entity, and took another picture. How hard would it have been for him to pick the phone up and say, Mr. Pauly, are you in town this day?
I don't see a problem with, they start their morning out the day before, call, are you guys gonna be home so we can come in? Yeah, we're gonna be there, gates will be open. We have issues with our business. Our property is not for clients to come in. Yes, it says Dirt Works. It is not, I have insurances, different types, and we just worry about people coming on and getting hurt. We don't want our business to get sued because they're on our property, but it says business, but it's not. We just were trying to be watchful of our stuff. I have grandchildren that continually, I have 9 grandchildren in Ely, Nevada. And they're at my house, and they're in my office, and they're running around, and that's why I just like people, to slow down. I had contractors coming in doing concrete, and I had to yell at them because they're speeding through, and when people don't stop or slow down when they're coming through the yard, I get worried about my grandkids running around, because kids don't look. So, anything else here?
Does the assessor request a sewer rebuttal?
Yes.
And is the board, what is the board's pleasure on that?
Just a couple of quick things. The pictures that I took from the Lackawanna Road, so I did not go onto anybody's property to take those. And then I checked with 3 other assessors' office, because the Polly's have claimed that their insurance does not allow anybody else on the property, and in 3 other counties, and obviously 4 counting White Pine County, nobody has ever heard of such a thing with any of the properties. I've talked with Churchill County, Humboldt County, Eureka County, and then obviously hearing, never had anybody state that in White Pine County, except the Polly's. And as agents of the government are able to carry out their official business as outlined under state, federal, whatever law you want to look at. So I'm going to, again, reiterate that it is the assertion of the assessor's office that the board does not have the authority to reduce the value of this property in any way. You can increase it if you wanted to, but you do have no authority, my assertion, to reduce the value of this property.
You all set? All right, so now is the time for the board to discuss. I would like to point out just a couple of things that are not in dispute. So if you look at NRS 361.345, subsection 2A, that has to do with personal property. It's not in dispute that a list was not given to the assessor. So the board needs to make a finding whether that omission, whether there was good cause for that or not. If there was not good cause, then if the board finds there was not good cause, then the board is without authority to reduce the personal property tax. On B, there is no dispute that the assessor was refused entry. The Polly's gave reasons for that. The assessor gave his rebuttal to that. The board has to find whether that was good cause or not. If the denial of entry onto the property was without good cause, then again, the board is without the authority to reduce the valuation. If the board does find good cause, then the board can move on to the evaluation question and either affirm the evaluation or adjust the evaluation as the board sees fit. So if there's any questions on that, that's just procedural. Okay, so now would be the time for board discussion and any motions the board would make. I would ask the board to make a finding of whether there was good cause or not, and so we know where we're standing going forward.
Can I ask the Polly's a question? I was actually learning something here today. Were you aware that manufactured housing is assessed same as a stick-built house? Because to be honest with you, that's a beautiful looking home. You know, I would have never guessed.
Can I make a quick clarification? I think it's more modular. Modular.
Okay. Okay, so that and that.
Because there are some differences between a manufactured home versus a modular home on how they are assessed.
Okay, so looking at that sticker, manufactured housing.
This is considered a modular home,
Okay.
as verified by the building.
Okay, so were you aware of that it's assessed same as a stick-built home?
Absolutely not. We purchased a manufactured home. It says it in the sticker that was provided with the home is manufactured. Your assessor can convolute that ideal, he wants me to convolute it. The sticker itself is our evidence that shows this is a manufactured home, not to be diluted by any such means. We purchased this for personal reason. As we become retired, this will become a summer home. We didn't go all out, we didn't go elaborate, we didn't go for a $500,000 stick-built home, because this is gonna become our second home. So no, to answer your question, I did not know that there was a difference between the two, the way the assessor's office would tax it.
then, one comment to the board and the assessor. The word estimate is a big word, you know. I have a different view of an estimate. So, and looking at the documentation, the numbers that the assessor put out were then modified by you guys, in which, I don't know if you took a tape measure or you've done that. So with that word estimate, is there a chance that they'd be welcome back, the assessors that finalize the numbers, and that, would that change the bottom line? I don't know. And then there was one question I had, you know, the assessors commented you took a lot of pictures from the Lackawanna Road. There's one of the foundation.
That was taken
When
by,
we
in
were on the
April of
property.
Oh,
last year,
okay, all right.
before they were,
Okay, so that, I mean, that's a really good telephoto lens, I guess explains that.
and some of these others were from prior that we've had in our file. Like this, like anything, only the house and the equipment was taken, those are new pictures that I took from Lackawanna Road.
Okay, then thanks for that clarification. And then on the equipment list, I know the Polly's, they got a lot of equipment, and then, like you said, it's coming through, I'll see them come through with a dozer, and it's not here. It's here on the transport, then it's gone the next day. So, Tim, on that list of the equipment they put down, you know, I don't want you to go through every one and say, yeah, this is ours, this ain't ours. I think that would have been helpful, you know, but, that part right there, again, that's equipment. I don't know nothing about the equipment. I mean, this whole thing was, I thought it was based on the house, but then you gave them the depths of it, assessed value and so forth. So I think that's a question in my mind right there. But the word estimate is, I think, is just that. I mean, it states by that NRS the attorney read, and I read it right there, but trying to find the even ground here, make everybody happy. We come up, everybody keep a muzzle on, just get a tape measure out, or however you wanna do this, or if that would change the bottom line, I don't know, or it is what it is.
Well, what could happen is next, in the next assessment, if he was allowed onto the property, then he could make a more accurate, I think for this, the purpose of this appeal, the estimate is what it is. So, the board needs to find either a good cause or not for refusing entry, and then if good cause is found, then the board can address the valuation at that point.
Well, my comment on that is, what's happened has happened, which resulted in an estimate. So at that time, I think we have to go with the facts of what happened, failed to get to the bottom line of actual measurements and so forth. So I look at it as, again, there's gonna have to be, go with what the estimate is. That's my thought right there, by the NRS.
Just for clarifying, are we finding, I just want the record to be clear if this gets appealed to the state, so the state knows what to look at. Are we finding that, the refusal to, provide the list and provide access to the property, that there was not good cause to prohibit that, therefore removing your ability to, adjust the assessment?
Yes.
So then I would ask for a motion reflecting that.
Motion made.
Did you make the motion?
Did you make the motion?
Or-
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you did.
Oh, I know, I thought.
I'll make the
it's in
motion.
order.
I'll make the motion, sorry.
Do we have a second?
Oh, I'll second it. Sorry.
Second, okay. Moved second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? Carried so.
All right, so we will move on to the next case, and I will call that case. Messed up my paperwork, I apologize.
one.
Okay. It's gotta be in here somewhere. All right. Next case is 23-03 Victoria Polly, residential property, parcel number 005-601-21, respondent, White Pine County Assessor. We could start with, summarize the appeal and nature of the case, Mr. Assessor.
Yes. So the owner of this parcel is Victoria Polly. Property description, it's located 2465 North State Route 490 in the Cross Timbers area. It's zoned 05 open range, which again allows for a large range of activities of mixed residential and commercial use. The assessor's property code is 236, personal property manufactured home secured, and the parcel is 4.89 acres. There are 2 secured mobile homes and various other improvements on the property. The owner acquired the property in 2018. The property was recosted for 23-24 tax year. No factors were used for the improvements or the land. No adjustments were made to the land value. The parcel has no negative factors to consider. Marshall Swift valuation in the Nevada Rural Manual used to appraise improvements in accordance with Nevada Administrative Code. This includes the Western Region and Lincoln County local multiplier or modifiers as approved by the Nevada Tax Commission. The parcel's improvements, pictures, sketches, plat map imagery, and assessment notice are in Exhibit 1. The appeal, Mrs. Polly submitted her appeal for this property for the upcoming 23-24 tax year. She's appealing under NRS 361.357. The full cash value, the market value of my property is less than the computed tax value of the property. She is appealing the improvement value and the secured personal property value for this property. At the time, she submitted no evidence of her appeal when she filed in support of her opinion of value.
Okay. And with that, we will turn to Ms. Polly, and you can present and explain and make any arguments regarding your evidence.
Okay, I do believe he just said that there was 2 secured homes on the property, and that is false. There is a single wide that my mother lived in, and we moved it off to the side and upgraded her home because the other one was very drafty and not inhabitable. It is sitting off to the side on axles. The tip out is actually falling off of it. We haven't had a chance to demo it. So that home is not secured. I included some examples of one property that has 3 other mobile homes sitting on it, plus the one that people are living in, and it doesn't have personal property tax in the excess that my mother's has property tax excess. I'm just trying to figure out why she's being assessed so much. There is a asphalt driveway that is non-existent anymore. It's all gravel, so I don't know how often the assessors actually make steps on the property. The picture that you see of my mother's home is from the, whatever her address is off of the dirt road in front of her house. They obviously didn't go on her property. Yeah, she has a closed gate, but there's nothing that says no trespassing. I'm just trying to figure out why they're assessing her with $13,000 of personal property when nothing has happened to that property other than an upgraded single wide put on the property. There's a root cellar that is collapsed. I at one time heard from the assessor's office that they try and touch every property every year, but if they haven't made note of these items, that the single wide has been sitting off to the side, dilapidated and inhabitable for now the last 2014. And they're still assessing her $300 and some odd every year on something that the cats love to live in.
And also, to add to that, the structure is not either used for storage nor animal shelters, if anything. It's just a dilapidated home that I have not had the chance to bring to the landfill and get before her.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
Are there any questions from the board?
Any question?
Okay.
I just got one just for clarification, so I'm on those. You guys have that picture there, Victoria? There's 00561. I just wanna familiarize myself with that property. Which one is the uninhabited?
This is the one she lives in, this is the one we pulled off to the side where they, if you want to look also, this mound right there, there's a full corrugated collapse, and this one right there, it's in disrepair also.
Okay, so that's the picture of her house.
That is the current one.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Is that it for questions at this point?
Yeah, I'll wait for any session to say.
All right, we'll turn to the assessor for his response.
Okay, thank you. Again, since no evidence was submitted with the appeal, I kind of had to fire it in the dark here when I timely submitted my evidence. So appraisals for real property improvements are conducted in accordance with Nevada Revised Statute, Nevada Administrative Code. Personal property mobile home valuation is completed by using a depreciation tables and cost index as approved by the Nevada Tax Commission, which if you look at Exhibit 2 in the board agenda there, you'll see how manufactured homes are appraised in Nevada. I did a little just type thing, it says mobile home valuation at the top, and in any manufactured home, mobile home, that was purchased, manufactured prior to July of 1982, and then if you look at the next page, you'll see a little schedule of the two mobile homes there. Use purchase price times the depreciation equals the taxable value times the 35% assessed value ratio used in Nevada on everything, you get your assessed value. The mobile home was constructed after July of 1982. Use purchase price times the depreciation times the cost index to get the taxable value. Taxable value again times 35% gets your assessed value. And then the following two pages are the depreciation cost index schedules from the Nevada Department of Taxation. On a mobile home, it's whatever it was purchased for originally. I have no way of changing any of it. It's all set by the state tax commission. So if it was $50,000, then plug it into the formula and here's your value. It doesn't matter the size of it. There's, on a real property, stick-built modular home, something like that, square footage is going to make a difference on the price. A mobile home, it makes zero difference. It could be 50,000 square feet. It just matters. All that matters is what the purchase price was in the year that it was constructed, and then we have to go off these depreciation tables. So this form here, little Excel thing, shows you the values for those two mobile homes, and I think there's a misconception about secured. Secured, all that it means is the taxes for that mobile home are tied to the real property parcel number taxes. Has nothing to do with any physical alterations, whether it's latched to the ground or not. Everything in the state of Nevada is taxable unless there's a clear exemption why it's not. And since it's on the property, it's taxable. And as a courtesy, it's better for the polys to have this taxed as a mobile home than to have us tax it as a shed. We ran the numbers this morning, and this taxable value on the older mobile home as a mobile home is $979. If we were to run it as the lowest cost shed that we could, it'd be $2,465. So we typically, even in this situation, if it's still there, even if it's not being used, it's still there, we have to assess it. We'll try to, we want to keep it as a mobile home for the benefit of the taxpayer. Their taxes would be higher if we tax it as a shed. By law, we physically have to go to every parcel every 5 years. We can go more frequently, but most parcels we go to every 5 years. There's a rotating schedule. If there's there's new construction going on, we will go more frequently. We usually go twice a year to each of those parcels while that particular construction is occurring. And then it's just whenever it falls into our every 5-year cycle. So I think those are the main things here. And again, I'm not sure, given the evidence that should have been submitted with the appeal, you know, yesterday.
May I say something?
Yeah.
But when Mrs. Polly came in, she did tell us about the asphalt and about the cellar. And so we did pull that for when we go do new construction, so we can look at it and remove it. If it is, you know, it's not worth anything. So we are gonna do that in April.
Yes.
So we did explain that and she's aware.
Thank you very
So
much
we
for
did
getting
pull
that.
it.
Yeah, and, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it right now.
No.
I mean, just the weather, we go out again in April for.
Hopefully weather permitting.
Yes. So, thank you for adding that, Melanie. And so I guess, you know, looking at the comparables,
And like we
Yeah.
explained
It's-
also, once you remove that other mobile home that's non-livable, let us know, we'll go out and physically.
I hate to
roll
interrupt,
up
but
and-
I enforced this rule previously. Your comments should be to the board.
Oh, I'm sorry.
so, I mean, any of the examples that are manufactured houses, they're just gonna follow the same formula. It's what the purchase price was in the year that it was manufactured. I think I got something. That was that case. Sorry, bear with me for just a second. No, I can't find it for that case. It looks like this, but it says 2303 at the top. So I mean, I guess that since I can't find that sheet for how the mobile homes for the comparable properties that Polly submitted, but they're all done on that same exact formula as prescribed by the state. I don't control that. We just plug it into the formula and here's the value. So I can't say, you know, they're asserting that I'm over assessing, but I don't know where, to me, there's been no evidence that's been submitted that shows that I'm doing, you know, our office is doing anything incorrectly. We're following the same, oh, here it is. I don't have a copy, but on all three of those, the mobile homes that they submitted as evidence, it's just the formula.
What's a, year of manufacture on that little 35
On theirs,
I'm not knowing in your record.
one is an 81, one is a 72, and one is an 88. This is the evidence they submitted.
Okay, we're tying into their example property? Is that-
Yeah, that's
Okay.
tied into all those. So two of them were before July of 82, so there's no cost index. The one is an 88, does have a cost index.
Okay.
So
Any further questions of the assessor?
I guess, I do have a question there. It would have been, again, and I'm sort of a question to the Polly's also. The year seems to be a very important item in this year. And in your example, Victoria, you know, I don't know if that would have made a difference in how you presented this here. If you would have had the year on there, then the formula comes out, what he has right there. It changes the value all the way through there too, just based on the year, which is very interesting to me. And one general comment that it just totally blows me away is the purchase price back in 1998 was $33,000. I would think that take the depreciation, then that would be a new, that's what the value is then, you know, I mean, it's like a car, but it's not a car. So that was sort of surprising to me that they go with the purchase price from back in 1998, and, I mean, they being the NRS, the law, that sort of blows me away. Because let's just say that hypothetical 1998 Fleetwood, That's what it is sitting out there. It might be a shambles on the inside. You know, but they're not, you know, they don't go inside, look at the house, judge anybody by how they choose to live. That's sort of surprising to me, but I guess you gotta argue with the taxation people, you know, on that right there, but that's my comments there. I don't know if you've done the formula on your example properties, because I looked through, I couldn't see a comparable type thing. Now I know the years, it's different, only one of them could be considered in this example. That's all I have to say.